This one is literally called Beach Read, so definitely for the summer. Number 1, best-selling author of The Nightingale. Loved it. He has no idea what she'll find in Scotland, and being rescued by a gorgeous, angry Scotsman is definitely the last thing she expects.
This is Jen, ASMR. Subscribe before you fall asleep.
Hi there, my lovely, lovely sleepy squirrels. I hope that you're all well. In this video, we are going to be talking books, summer books. Jen ASMR big summer reading list for the Patreon book club and anybody else who would like to. So I have only one physical book here for this video. All of the other books I will be reading this summer are on my Kindle, but I need to read all of the books I have as well. I can't just stick to the Kindle. So I chose 4 books that were suggested by my patrons from the book club as books they would like to read this summer. And I chose 1 book out of my TBR, physical TBR, that I'd be meaning to read. And basically, instead of a normal book club we do every 2 months, we just choose a book, read the book, and then we have a little meeting on Discord to chat about what we thought about the book and other things, depending on who's there. And for the summer, because everybody is busy, people are on holiday, etc., we decided that we would do a 3-month wait for the next meeting. And I have challenged myself, like it's a big challenge for me, guys, to read 5 books in 3 months. So for some people that is nothing. There are people in my book club that read like 5 books in 1 month. And I read probably 1 book a month, but like in parallel. So I will read 1 book for book club and 1 book for just myself in parallel over the 2 months, if that makes sense. Because sometimes we do the first book of a series in book club and I just want to read the rest, and I do in parallel with the next book kind of thing. So 5 books over the summer is a lot for me personally. So any other slow readers out there, I hope you feel seen. And yeah, so on the 31st of August of 2025, we're gonna have the big summer meeting, which basically just means you can read 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the books along with me. You don't have to read them all, and you actually technically don't have to read any of them. You can just read your own books that you want to read this summer. But we will have more to talk about if you read the same ones. But even if you only read 1 of these 5 and then read a bunch of other ones, we would still be happy to hear about all the books you read. Everybody can have a turn talking about which other books they read too, if you want. No pressure. You can just hang and listen if you just want to know what we thought of the books. So if you would like to join along with us, the link to the Patreon is down below. You just have to be a member of Patreon, and you have access to the links to join our Goodreads group. You can follow along with what everyone's reading and what page they're on. And then, of course, the exclusive Discord where we have our meetings. And that means you can also choose, put suggestions in for the next books we're going to read and vote for that. Okay, so let's have a look at this first one, which was not suggested by anyone. It's just one of those books I've been meaning to read, and it's not particularly summery. Let me just say that. There are like literal beach read books, summery, girly summer books in this. This is not all like this. So we have the international #1 bestseller, powerful and compelling, Delilah Owens on the Four Winds. The Four Winds is a different book from Kristin. I think I've read that one. I'm not sure. I've read a whole bunch of her books. I really like them. Kristin Hannah, and this is wild. A woman who must escape her past, a child who must unlock her future. The author of the multi-million #1 New York Times bestseller, The Nightingale. That is one of my 5-star reads on Goodreads. You can follow me on Goodreads and see which other books I've put as a 5-star read, because I find it very difficult to actually rate a book. It's either I can't rate it because I don't know, or it's 5 stars, which means I loved it. There's no in between. Okay, I'm gonna flip the video now because I need to see, to read better. Okay, from the New York Times #1 best-selling author of The Nightingale, loved it. Firefly Lane, loved it. I think there's a second one, and also there's a series which I loved a little less, but you know, it's what it is. And The Four Winds, I don't know if I've read that. I feel like I have. Comes Wild, a remarkable story about the resilience of the human spirit, the triumph of hope, and the promise of new beginnings. In the rugged Pacific Northwest of the United States lies the Olympic National Forest, a vast expanse of impenetrable darkness and impossible beauty. Okay, this is not summary, but you know, we're gonna go for it. From deep within this mysterious woodland, a 6-year-old girl appears, speechless and alone. She offers no clue as to her identity, no hint of her past. Having retreated to her hometown after a scandal left her career in ruins, child psychiatrist Dr. Julia Cates begins working with the extraordinary little girl, naming her Alice. Julia is determined to free her from a prison of unimaginable fear and isolation and discover the truth about Alice's past. The shocking facts of Alice's life test the limits of Julia's faith and strength, even as she struggles to make a home for Alice and find a new one for herself. Praise for Kristin Hannah, unforgettable, said Karen Swan. A rich, compelling novel of love, sacrifice, and survival, says Kate Morton. This is going to be a cozy read. I'm going to read it in the summer, but it's going to be cozy. Okay, so let's have a little read of The Blur wonder, should I make some sounds with this anyway, even though it's not the book? Because I have like the blurbs to read on my Kindle, or should I make Kindle sounds? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Let me grab the first one. Wake up. I'm reading the third one in the V.E. Schwab trilogy. We read the first one in book club, A Darker Shade of Magic. I read the second one, loved it. Now I'm reading the third one, love it. All three are great. Would definitely recommend. Okay, so let's search for this one. Every Summer After. Results from my library, because I've already bought it, because I already decided it's in this. But I don't want to open it. I want to go and see the information in the Kindle store so we can read the blurb. When you actually like buy the book, you can't like read the blurb when you open the book, if you know what I mean. Okay. I bought it on the 2nd of June. That's when I decided which books. Every Summer After. A heartbreakingly gripping story of love and loss by Carley Fortune. And the Kindle price was $5.99. Thank you, Kindle, for not being too expensive. Okay, 322 pages. It came out on the 10th of May, 2022. I don't know what the rest of it says. A radiant debut, said Emily Henry. Emily Henry is like mega popular beach read kind of writer, isn't she? Like romance-ish. Never read any of her books. One of them is in this list though. We're gonna read one this summer. Okay, the New York Times bestseller. 6 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart. A weekend to get it right. They say that you can never go home again. And for Persephone Fraser, or Persephone, is it Persephone? Persephone Fraser. That has felt too true for the last decade. Ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life. Instead of glittering summers on the lakeshore of her childhood, she spends them in a stylish apartment in the city, going out with friends and keeping everyone a safe distance from her heart. Until the day she gets a call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek, the man she never thought she'd have to live without. For 6 summers through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights working in his family restaurant and curled up together with books, Percy and Sam have been inseparable, and slowly that friendship turned into something breathtakingly more before it fell spectacularly apart. It's giving me very like Dawson's Creek vibes. I haven't really read a book like this in a while. Okay. When Percy returned, maybe it's the Percy Pacey kind of thing that's made me think that, and the kind of like small town romance kind of thing. When Percy returns to the lake, their connection is as undeniable as it had always been. Percy must confront the decisions she's made and the years she spent punishing herself for them in order to determine once and for all whether their love might be bigger than the biggest mistake of their past. Oh, I wonder what it is. Told over the course of 6 years and 1 weekend, Every Summer After is a big, sweeping, nostalgic story of love and the people and choices that mark us forever. The magic and romance of summer is palpable. Your next must-read beach read, said Ashley Audrain. I'm gonna maybe not read it on the beach, but I'm definitely gonna read it this summer. Perfect for those who covet steamy summer dock days and second chance love stories. I devoured it. Karma Brown. A quintessential summer novel full of longing and love lost and lost love and hits on so many beloved tropes, said BuzzFeed. I didn't expect to see BuzzFeed on that list. Okay, so that one sounds very summer holiday read, which is the point, so perfect. The next one is beach read. So this one is literally called beach read, so definitely for the summer. And it's the Emily Henry one. That I've never read any of her books, but I keep hearing her name everywhere. And it was in the suggestions. There was a few of her books in the suggestions for the summer read, so I picked this one. Beach read, the feel-good, grumpy sunshine rom-com from the Sunday Times best-selling romance. I'm guessing romance writer Emily Henry. Okay, 363 pages, the 18th of May 2020. Okay, 2 writers, 1 holiday, a rom-com waiting to happen. One of my favorite authors, said Colleen Hoover. It ends with us. A great love story, said Jodie Picoult. Wish you were here. And the perfect escapist romp, said Laura Jane Williams. One Night with You. I don't know who any of those are, but I'm sure they're kind of in the genre. That's probably why. Okay. January is a hopeless romantic who narrates her life like she's the lead in a blockbuster movie. Gus is a serious literary type who thinks true love is a fairy tale. But January and Gus have more in common than you'd think. They're both broke. They've got crippling writer's block, and they need to write bestsellers before summer ends. The result? A bet to swap genres and see who gets published first. The risk in telling each other stories. Their worlds might be changed entirely. Set over one sizzling summer, Beach Read is a witty love story that will make you laugh a lot, cry a little, and fall head over heels. For fans of the Flatshare and If I Never Met You. I don't know those. My heart ached for January, and Gus is to die for. A steamy, smart, and perceptive romance, said Josie Silver. One Night on the Island. Full of banter, heat, and sexual tension, I felt the thrill of falling in love right alongside January and Gus. A gorgeous page-turner of a novel. Laura Jane Williams, One Night with You. Funny and seriously sizzling. Best. Who's best? If whip crack banter and sexual tension is your catnip, you'll adore this book. Sally Thorne, The Hating Game. Touching and heartfelt, I close this book with a satisfied sigh. Jasmine Gilroy. While we were dating. And clever and funny, this is a tender love story, woman and home. Okay, that's gonna be fun. Let's see the 4th book. And the 4th book is under Loch and Key, as in Loch, as in like a Scottish body This is by Lana Ferguson. This is also one of the ones suggested on Patreon for a fun summer read. 415 pages, and it was the 3rd of December in 2024, so the most recent one out of the ones I've chosen so far. A USA Today bestseller. A woman discovers that not all monsters are her enemy, the opposite in fact. In this new paranormal romance by Lana Ferguson, author of The Fake Mate. I know nothing about this author. Kiana Key Mackay is used to secrets. I have to say, there is part of me that chose this one just because it's Scottish also. But I think it will still be good. Raised by a single father who never divulged his past. It's only after his death that she finds herself thrust into the world he'd always refused to speak of, with just a childhood bedtime story about a monster that saved her father's life, and the name of her estranged grandmother to go off of. Key has no idea what she'll find in Scotland, but repeating her father's mistakes and being rescued by a gorgeous, angry Scotsman who thinks she's an idiot is definitely the last thing she expects. Lachlan Greer has his own secrets to keep, especially from the bonny lass he pulls to safety from the slippery shore. A lass with captivating eyes and the last name he's been taught not to trust. He's looking for answers as well, and Key's presence on the grounds they both now occupy presents a real problem. It's even more troublesome when he gets a front row seat to the lukewarm welcome Key receives from her family, the strange power she begins to develop, and the fierce determination she brings to every obstacle in her path. Things he shouldn't care about, and someone he definitely doesn't find wildly attractive. When their secrets collide, it becomes clear that Lachlan could hold the answers Kiana is after, and that she might also be the key to uncovering his. Up against time, mystery, and a centuries-old curse, they'll quickly discover that magic might not only be in fairy tales, and that love can be a real Loch mess. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I will definitely be enjoying that one too. And the last one is less summer read and more I need to read this, and it is the new one from Schwab, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Oh, I love that title. Okay, so it's not out yet, but I did pre-order it. When did it say? The 10th of June, so we don't have long to wait. And I'm just going to read the blurb here, but I downloaded the sneak peek, and what I'll do is I will end this video for you guys and then continue by reading the sneak peek of this book for my patrons. Okay, so Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, because usually these videos reading the blurbs of the book club choices and stuff are Patreon exclusive videos, but since this is like the big summer read and I thought other people might want to join in even if they're not a patron, I'll just read the sneak peek for my patrons. So Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, from the Sunday Times best-selling author of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I know that because I've already read that one. V.E. Schwab, out the 10th of June this year. 545 pages. from V.E. Schwab. Doesn't want to open. Please open. What's wrong? There we go. Okay, from V.E. Schwab, the #1 Sunday Times and New York Times best-selling author of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, a new genre-defying, unforgettable novel to sink your teeth into. This is a story about hunger. 1532, Santo Domingo de la Calzada. A young girl grows up wild and wily. Her beauty is only outmatched by her dreams of escape. But Maria knows she can only ever be a prize or a pawn in the games played by men. When an alluring stranger offers an alternative path, Maria makes a desperate choice. She vows to have no regrets. This is a story about love. 1827, London. A young woman lives an idyllic but cloistered life on her family's estate until a moment of forbidden intimacy sees her shipped off to London. Charlotte's tender heart and seemingly impossible wishes are swept away by an invitation from a beautiful widow. But the price of freedom is higher than she could have imagined. This is a story about rage. 2019, Boston. College was supposed to be her chance to be someone new. That's why Alice moved halfway across the world, leaving her old life behind. But after an out-of-character one-night stand leaves her questioning her past, her present, and her future, Alice throws herself into the hunt for answers and revenge. This is a story about life, how it ends and how it starts. Oh, she has such a way with words. There are no reviews or whatever. Yeah, she has such a way with words. V.E. Schwab. I'm just working my way through all of her books, basically. Okay, so I am gonna leave this video here for this evening. If you would like to hear the first part of the book that we just read, the blurb of, you can pop over to Patreon for that. Okay. Close that up. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it relaxing and interesting, and you would like to join along. I would love you guys to comment with all of your lovely books that you're going to be reading this summer, so that everyone can get some good suggestions for their own, not just my 5. And once again, if you would like to join along, you're welcome just to read them and be happy. But you are also very welcome to pop over to Patreon and join us to follow along and to be part of the big summer reading list meeting at the end of August. I hope to hear some of you there. Okay, so if you made it to this part of the video without falling asleep, I would like you to pop all of the summary emojis you can think of. I want to see beaches, I want to see swimming pools, I want to see sunshine, I want to see ice lollies, I want to see all the summer stuff, and some books thrown in there. Just some summer books. And you can just pop that in with your comment, hopefully listing the books that you would like to read this summer, or books that you've already read and you think everybody would love to read this summer. But if you are far too sleepy, it's okay. You can just pop those summery emojis in there by themselves. But for once, I will ask you to come back tomorrow when you're awake to list those books. I want to know all of your suggestions. Okay, so I hope that every single one of my lovely, lovely sleepy squirrels are well, wherever you are in the world, whatever is happening around you. I hope that you can find your own little bubble of calm. For example, if you are in Fredericksburg, in Virginia, in the USA, like my lovely, lovely patron, Lana, I hope you're well. Thank you for all of your lovely, lovely continued support for Patreon and for the book club. And Hannah is one of the people that suggested a few of these books, so thank you, Hannah. So I hope that you all have a lovely